This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the Growth Capital Expo 2014 right here in Las Vegas. I have with me Mike Oliver, SpectraScience, symbol SCIE. It's a publicly traded company. Mike, welcome back to SNNLive.
Thank you very much, Shelley. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you for having us.
It's good to have you. Let's get right into it. Give us an overview. I know our audience is waiting.
Well, as you know, we're focused on our European sales, and we've had some really good news in the last couple of weeks. Not exactly in Europe, but in Saudi Arabia. We've been approved by the Saudi FDA for sales in that country. We'll receive our license shortly, and that will really kick off our sales activities in Saudi Arabia. So that's really a great start for us.
Come on, that's huge. That changes the complexion of the company 100%.
Well, it is really large. The Saudis really like American technology. They like high technology products like ours. And the nice thing is they're willing to pay top dollar for them.
Explain the technology for the audience.
Well, SpectraScience uses light to detect and diagnose cancer in patients. So we essentially shine a light on tissue, and we can tell whether it's cancerous in about 1 second.
Inside or outside of the body?
It's still inside the body, and it's light that's so light in intensity that it doesn't heat, it doesn't cut, it doesn't burn anything.
So the fact that it doesn't cause the patient to have anything happen to them other than the light, that's a development that hasn't been done before either.
That's correct. It is truly non-invasive. And so we're very excited about that. And in Germany, we're having, as I think some people may know, we've applied for what's called an OPS code, which is a procedure code that allows reimbursement under the German scheme. And our clinical evaluation that's going on in Europe is proceeding very well. We now have 6 of the 8 sites up and running and collecting data.
All right, I have a couple questions. Cost. The cost of how it's currently done versus the cost of how you can now do it, what's the savings?
The savings in hard cost, in other words, comparing our product to pathology, we can save about 10 to 15%. But what's really important with our product is we eliminate a lot of soft costs, a lot of other things that have to happen that are very difficult to quantify in a hard dollar sense, but actually free up a lot of time for doctors, for nurses, and other clinicians.
And in other words, you know, cancer is something that has to be checked more and more and more. So being that you could check it on a non-invasive method, that's got to be a big improvement for healthcare also.
It's certainly really big improvement for healthcare, and most importantly for the patient. While cancer and colorectal cancer screening, which is our first indication, biopsies for that type of cancer are not high-risk procedures, but they're certainly not zero-risk procedures. And like in the United States, when you're doing 15 million screening colonoscopies a year, even if it's a fraction of 1% of complications, that's still a big number.
And another thing that I just thought of, you know, if there's a question, you know, if it's not 100% or if the doctor still has a question, they can always do an invasive test.
Absolutely. Our product has been shown to have a negative predictive value. In other words, its accuracy in ruling out cancer at 96%. Now, the medical societies recognize any product that does better than 90% as appropriate for inclusion into clinical practice. Again, these are very, very small structures we're looking at. We're not really diagnosing cancer. What we're diagnosing are pre-cancers. Very, very small, very, very difficult to take a look at.
Okay, it's 2014. I'm not asking you to have a crystal ball, but please give us an idea, 2015-16, where will the company be?
In 2015 will really be our first major year of commercialization throughout Europe. We'll have our sales organization in place, and we'll be able to have the coverage approvals that I talked about earlier that will allow us to begin selling actively. And so that's really going to be our first year of sales in this product. We hope that by 2016 and 2017 we're able to introduce our second product, our follow-on product into the market to capitalize on the technology platform that we have.
And your website is?
www.spectrascience.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Oliver, SpectraScience. Company stock symbol is SCIE. It's a publicly traded company. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNN Live. We're at the Growth Capital Expo Las Vegas 2014. Mike, as usual, a pleasure to see you.
Thank you, Shelley.